Hey, how you doing? My name's Sam. I'm a JavaScript engineer from Sydney. Um, I've been coding for a couple of years now. Mainly, initially, I started off in Ruby on Rails, and have since started doing more of my work in JavaScript frameworks, client-side frameworks like Angular and React Native. I'm super excited about the prospect of working at a company like Canva. Its mission of like empowering people to be creative is really resonates with me, and I really get a sense that the people at Canva value really good engineering practices, and they really value being kind to one another and having just a chill workplace where everyone is respected and works hard and is really proud of what they do, and that really is something that really appeals to me. And so thanks very much for taking this interview. So this is in response to the question about why I want to work at Canva. So Canva appeals to me both like intellectually and kind of more to me as more for me as a human being. So, firstly, intellectually, like I really do like coding, and particularly like all the cool innovation that's happening in JavaScript world at the moment, with all the new client-side frameworks coming out, and Canva's engineering practices and principles that I read on your blog post, like they kind of just scream that you guys are professional and you value clean code that's maintainable and modular, and you have a lot of best practices set out that enable you to solve problems easily, and that's the kind of environment that I want to do my problem solving in. So that's for sure more of the intellectual side of what appeals to me about working at Canva. The other side is kind of like just empowering creativity in other people. Would give me a reason to want to turn up to work every day. It wouldn't just be a journey, and the kind of the culture that you guys describe is shows that you guys really value like intelligence and in kindness in the people that work at Canva, and kind of contributing to a culture like that seems like a really profitable use of my working life. And I get the vibe that Canva is definitely like a once in a decade startup, particularly in Australia, and being a part of its journey would be like a huge privilege, and I'm aware of that, and I would really like to spend my knowledge and time making Canva even better. The question, what do you like about Canva's product? So I like both what it aims to do and the execution of how Canva has pulled it off so far. So I kind of mentioned this earlier, but like empowering other people to be creative and create things much like from what I can see is by far the best on the market is like something I think it's a really noble goal, and I really like the purpose of what the product's trying to achieve. The other side of in terms of the coding aspect and what I like about it, I really enjoy design. That was something I didn't really, when I started coding, I didn't really, it was kind of a love that I didn't know I would have, and being a company which is focused on design and graphic design, obviously it's important that you guys practice what you preach and have really interesting UI and really good intuitive user experience, and being beholden to that kind of constraint and build on top of what you guys already done would be a really fascinating challenge for me. So it also would marry like the technologies that I'm most interested in, being a JavaScript developer. So that's what I would really, that's the things that I really like about the product the most. This is in response to the question, where do you see yourself fitting in our team? I'd be applying for the role. Okay. So I'm applying for the role of like a front-end JavaScript engineer at Canva, and I obviously by the job task see myself working mainly with the UI and how data is rendered to the UI. the job description and how you get things done at Canva, like the practices you abide by seem really, really awesome. Getting like a huge amount of exposure to pushing live code and being part of code reviews and being a part of stand-ups that decide what direction the company will take that week. That all seems like a hugely exciting experience and something that I'd be very, very willing to participate in, and something that I feel like could contribute a lot to. Yep. Response to the question, what have you learned in the last year? I feel like I've learned a lot, just because of how quickly the JavaScript community moves and all the new frameworks that come out. So I've had the opportunity this year to gain a lot of exposure to front-end frameworks like Angular and React Native, Backbone, and to some back-end server-side frameworks too, like Node, Express, obviously, database is like Mongo and Postgres, and ORMs like Mongoose and Sequelize, and I've really had a chance to understand JavaScript in more detail. So understand things like Clojure and the JavaScript event cycle, how that all works, and that's definitely like the curve of knowledge that I'm on, of learning is something that I'm really enthusiastic about maintaining into the next software position that I take. And yeah, I'm sure that I'd definitely be able to maintain that trajectory at Canva.